So this probably isn't a video many of you will enjoy, which is fine. I've learned not to worry too much about that sort of thing because I think people burn out quicker with things when they worry about what others will make of it. You know, obviously it always still matters to you what other people think. It's stupid to pretend not. But, you know, I bet the main reason 90% of musicians, artists, writers, whatever, 90% of why they do what they do is because they love it and they want to share that love or that joy or sometimes sadness, whatever it is. They want to share that with the world. But basically, I'm in a good mood at the moment. Partly because I watched the film Beautiful Day in the Neighbourhood, which I'm going to make a video discussing at some point because I loved it. And then as soon as it finished, I went outside to have a think, and now I guess I'm doing this. I'm just in a good mood. So to just tell the truth, I enjoy life at the moment. I didn't always. I used to be a pretty unhappy kid, and then I spent a good deal of my teenage years depressed. And I imagine a time will come in my life where I feel unhappy again, but that'll be fine because I know it will pass now. I think, you know, I couldn't conceive of that before. Back when you're in the pit of darkness, you don't ever imagine anything will change, do you? Like, even though it's 100% logical that things will change, since absolutely everything always changes, and you've got a whole life for things to change, and things changed in the first place to put you in depression. But I don't know, but we always seem to think the darkness will last forever, and I don't know why that is. Maybe it's because we're just afraid to feel hope sometimes. I don't know. But this video this video is just something small because I'm in a good mood and I just felt like sharing some small things I enjoy in a day, because we forget the small things too easily, and that's a problem. So here's a list. It probably won't be a very long list because it's hard to make lists, particularly if you're me. I get distracted too easily and ramble off into something else. You know, I'm not good at focusing on lists, but having said that, here we go. I enjoy when the moon's out at night and you see the clouds passing towards it, and you think the clouds are gonna this is a really specific one, and you think the clouds are gonna pass over the moon and make it disappear, but because they're really thin clouds, the moon just shines straight through. It makes it look like the moon's in front and the clouds sail past behind it. I enjoy when I stumble home from the pub sometimes, not too drunk, but quite drunk, and I get into bed and I lie back on my pillow, and then I just sway my head left and right because being drunk makes it feel really dizzy and it's just a weird feeling, and it's satisfying. I enjoy that for some reason. I enjoy when I have a cup of tea that I didn't stir properly or something, and you get to the bottom and then you taste the bits of sugar that didn't dissolve enough, and it's sort of like a slightly syrupy sugar thing at the end. And I enjoy when I put something in the microwave, because this is how I cook, in a microwave, and I've gone off to check my phone or whatever else, and then I come back to the kitchen 1 second before the microwave bleeps. That's satisfying. I enjoy running my hands under warm water. Like, sometimes when I run a bath, I just sit there with my hands under the tap while it fills up, because I just like the feeling. I enjoy spinning round in my swivel chair, which is what I'm sitting in now. And I think I enjoy it because I can remember being a little kid and my older brother got a swivel chair in his room, and I remember how much I used to just enjoy spinning on it then. So I think when I spin on a swivel chair now, I have the very vivid memory of how much I used to enjoy it, and that kind of makes it enjoyable now, if that makes sense. I enjoy walking barefoot in the mud and getting like big squelches of it pressed between my toes. I really like that feeling. And also I enjoy walking on sand barefoot as well. Some people hate that. My brother always hated it, walking on sand, but I really like that. I enjoy when it's really cold and I just sit directly in front of this little plug-in fan heater I've got. Like, normally if I have to think things through about something or other, I just sit in front of the fan heater, and sometimes I sit so close that it's almost burning and I have to move back, and for some reason I seem to enjoy that. I enjoy the feel of stones. It sounds fucking stupid, but like when I was a kid, I used to always, whenever we go to the beach or whatever, I used to always take some stones home with me because I don't know, I like the feeling of stones in my hands. And I like picking up I used to like picking up handfuls of gravel and just rubbing that between my hands and letting it fall to the floor again. That one is quite weird, but I do enjoy that. And I love music boxes. I've got a couple of Studio Ghibli ones in my room. Music boxes are fun because they just sound really melancholic and nostalgic. They sound like beautiful and sad at the same time. Or happy and sad at the same time somehow. I don't know, I think music boxes remind me of the start and end of Camberwick Green episodes, if you ever saw that as a little kid like I did, when they're on the music boxes there. So, I don't know, maybe that's why it feels nostalgic for me. I enjoy when it's such a quiet night that you don't want to move because your footsteps ruin the silence when you're outside. I never like breaking silence much in general though. I've always moved about quite quietly. And I enjoy drinking cider in the summer sun. I think I'm right in thinking in America cider isn't alcoholic for some reason. I don't think I'd like that as much, but alcoholic cider, you know, when you're in the sun and it's warm and it just makes you feel like dozing off in a field. I love that. And to add to that, I love just lying on the grass on a summer's day. I don't do that enough. I can vividly remember doing it in sixth form. For some reason, one day in sixth form, we just walked to the nearby park and laid on the grass for an hour or so. It's been years since I've just laid on the grass for a while. That's a shame. I'm going to do that again when the summer comes. I'm going to make a point to do that. I really enjoy shaving. It feels therapeutic for me somehow, but I rarely do it anymore because I've kept a beard. I've got a real baby face, me. I've got a real baby face, so I kind of need the beard until I finally look old enough without it, I guess. And I do enjoy having a beard, I like that as well. I like being able to stroke a beard. But I do miss shaving it sometimes, because shaving, I like shaving. I like when there's thick snow on like a garden or a field or whatever, and there's no footprints anywhere or anything, so it's all just completely flat, like a white sheet. And it looks really nice, and then you get to ruin that by jumping in it. It's fun, that feeling. I don't know why. It's like little kids when they enjoy knocking towers over and stuff. Sometimes it's fun to destroy things. Like, I've always wanted to smash up a greenhouse with stones. I would love to do that one day. I would absolutely love that. I really enjoy, when I went to Italy this time, probably 3 years ago now actually, but we went up in the mountains there, and when we were driving there, we got so high up that a cloud came past, and we drove through the cloud. I mean, that might not be true. At least that's what they said it was. I asked them and they said it was a cloud, and they said it looked like it was a perfectly ordinary thing. You know, oh, we're just driving through a cloud at the moment. I don't know, I find that really odd, and I enjoyed that. I enjoy when you've had an all-night party, and it's the morning, and you're all groggy and a bit hungover, and it's really sunny and stuff, and you kind of all just slump there for an hour or two more, not getting up, still in your sleeping bags or whatever you're in, just joking around and still talking because you don't want to get up, and there's like still one of you passed out in a corner or something. I don't know, I kind of enjoy that groggy morning bit of a party more than the party itself. It's like you've gone through the night drunk, and now you've woken up and you're all still together. I don't know, it makes it feel like you've achieved something somehow. And you get to walk home and your hair's a mess and you look and feel like complete shit, and it's what I imagine Frodo and Sam would feel coming back from Mordor afterwards. It's that's what I feel like. And the last one is an obvious one, but I enjoy those rare times when there's something really funny but you're not allowed to laugh for some reason, and because you can't laugh, it makes it like 10 times funnier than it would have been. I love that situation. It's probably only happened about 20 times my entire life, and that's weird to think about. You know, that there's this specific experience that has probably only happened 20 times my entire life. That's as much of a list as I can think of right now though. That's it, that's the video. I could probably make a bigger one if I set a lot of time aside to think it all through, but it's long enough already it's long enough that you've probably gotten bored. So I'm sorry if you came here today looking for an in-depth film analysis like I normally do, and you've just been given a list. Although, like, top 10 lists normally do well on YouTube, don't they? So maybe if I'd framed this like a top 10 things I enjoy or something, maybe then it would get a lot of views or something. I don't know. It doesn't matter. I'm not doing that. And it doesn't matter if you think my list is a really weird one either, or that all this stuff is really sad. Because it isn't sad whatsoever. You're wrong. It's the complete opposite in my opinion, you know. And I bet everyone could make similar lists, similarly weird lists, if they put time aside to think about it. You know, there's always very small things we enjoy in the world. And that's a blessing, very small weird things like that, you know? When there's stuff we enjoy that's so small, you sometimes barely even notice you're enjoying it. Life is just fun, you know, when you notice the small things. Life is fun. Even when life is also definitely not fun, it's still fun at the same time. Yep, that's how I'm finishing the video. You've had enough of me talking now, I assume, so I'm going to leave it there. Thanks for bothering to watch this far. If there's any weird small things you enjoy as well, let me know in the comments, and otherwise hopefully see you next time for a proper video.